for anybody. You know, if they're a married couple and they're threatening you because you're going through a divorce and you're dealing with single life and they're threatening you, let me explain something. Get in touch with the police. There's movies like Fatal Attraction. There's all kinds of stuff, okay, that can go wrong. Get in touch with the police. At least report their name, okay, to the police. I don't know the guy's name. I just know his last name is Johnston. I know her name is Angela Johnston. And she's not only got a hold of me, but people that I know, okay? It's not just me. I had to block her on Facebook, Facebook Messenger, Gmail, and my phone. I had to call Verizon to have her blocked. I've had other women blocked too. Okay? Get in touch with the police, give them their name. Or make a report on social media for your protection. There's a lot of murder cases that have been solved because people have reached out there and asked for help. Okay? She's dangerous. And she's dangerous because she tried to kill me with some kind of mixture of marijuana, laced marijuana. And I fell down in the kitchen, completely passing out, asking what was in that. And I could not get up. And everything was dizzy. It was something she put in the marijuana. I was able to survive it. I don't know how. But listen, I have a friend of mine, or actually, I've been to court on many murder cases, okay? More than one, I have. And one of the things, not inside the courtroom, but I have been inside the courtroom for one murder case. And I've been in the autopsy room on another murder case, okay? One of the things that my father went through was his worker named Radish died of cyanide poisoning from his wife. His own wife poisoned him with cyanide. It's a true story. Cyanide smells like almonds when they're in the autopsy. They'll smell the body and it'll reek of almonds. They're the result of what cyanide does, and they can find out if you were poisoned with cyanide. It takes like 1 gram of cyanide to kill you. My dad used to use cyanide in his work and refinery of gold, silver, and diamonds. He used them all the time. He used cyanide. It was part of the mixture that he needed for the purity of gold and silver, as well as diamonds. So we know about cyanide. We know that people kill other people. It happens. And Radish, who was a genius, he played the violin and all this stuff. He knew chemistry. He taught me, not really speed reading, but he taught me how to read better. He taught me how to read better. I was in a remedial reading class when I was younger, and Radish got me up to speed. He sat next to me and helped me read better. His wife pretty much killed him with cyanide, and they found it in the coffee. That's what she put it in. She put a certain amount of cyanide in the coffee. He drank it and died. Okay? So be careful. Not all marriages are good ones. Not all marriages are perfect. You would think that they are, but they're not. You have to be careful. They'll go off and kill other people, or they'll kill their own spouse. So be wary. Her name's Angela Johnston. Her husband is trying to reach me. I'm going to contact the police the next time he calls me. Okay? Or text me. I promise I will do that. And I'll send his information. All around the fountain. Slap me on the patio. I don't know the whole lyrics. I'll have to look at it. But Stephen Patrick Morrissey, known as Morrissey, it's a mononym. One name, like Cher, but it's Stephen Patrick Morrissey, is still performing today. People, just last couple months ago, are jumping up on stage, hugging Stephen Patrick Morrissey. I guess for fortune. I did it. I hugged the one and only Stephen Patrick Morrissey. I did. 1992-ish, Kill Uncle. It was probably the Kill Uncle the Kill Uncle tour. It was the Kill Uncle tour. Morrissey means disgust of body. Look it up. Look at the etymology of the word Morrissey. To be disgusted of your body. I don't know why. It just means that, but He is a genius, and he's a writer that looks up to Yeats and Keats and Oscar Wilde. And the Smiths represented not only his frame of mind, but his obsession with poetry and his love of writing, because he's the greatest songwriter of all time, in my opinion. We look to Morrissey to go, okay, you can write a book and music at the same time. I'm glad I have his bio. I may sneak into it tonight. It's like reading James Joyce or something. You have to have your Google ready, because you'll go into pop culture madness. He goes into all of this stuff from the 50s and the 60s, obsession with James Dean. And I jumped up on stage on Every Day is Like Sunday, I believe. No, Suede Head. It was Suede Head, which is a song about James Dean. When I jumped up on stage and hugged him in Dallas at the Starplex at the Kill Uncle tour. And the security was... We went to the wings. They took us to the wings. They didn't throw us back into the crowd like they do nowadays in Vegas. We went to the wings. It's all from Homerist, which is a documentary. If you see Homerist, they show how obsessed his fans are. All vegetarians usually. Morrissey, 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 Morrissey. What it is it's a worship of music and idolizing pop culture. But then he reminds us that there's a Bible. He reminds us there's such a Bible. I don't watch the news anymore. I don't watch it anymore. I don't watch the news. Not necessarily because Morrissey's single. He has a single song about don't watch the news. I stopped watching the news. I got tired of yelling at Biden. I got tired of yelling at Trump. I'm done with it. I'm done with the news. But when I go back and I look, this guy is still at it. It's endure till the end, right? We endure till the end. I guess in Texas we say endure, but endure. We endure till the end. We keep on going on, right? And he's older. Who knows how old? About 15 years older, I think. That's pretty old. And he's still doing it. And he's still holding his own. His music is good. His voice is sound. He's in his right mind, I believe, to a certain degree. As much as he can be. And people are jumping up there, hugging him. And I know the older crowd. I know Generation Xers are going, oh, goodness gracious, when will it stop? But I'm for it, you know. I'm for the Rolling Stones going up there and still being the Rolling Stones. I mean, you know, if New York Dolls could get it together, why not? What's wrong with it? He's singing music. Everyone is flipping out over it. And a label dropped him because of some kind of thing he wrote. But he knows being in America, it's safe to write, it's safe to speak, it's safe to talk about teenagers and bonfires. Because if you're not a radical, or you don't radicalize something, it does not get heard. Oh, well, dear, yeah, there's a mass shooting. Well, you know, that's really wrong. Are we going to the mall? You know, no. You have to radicalize it. You have to speak out, or nothing gets done. We just go around and reel around the fountain. You know, slap me on the patio. Blah, blah, blah. It just goes around in a circle. Whoop, got something. 7-Eleven. We picked one up at 7-Eleven. 2.4 miles, 5 minutes. We'll be there at 10:39 p.m. on the arrival. PM stands for post-meridium. This is probably going to be cigarettes or wine. I don't know. We'll find out when we get there. I may let you know. I may not. But we're on our way. Check out Morrissey's stuff. He's got some albums. He's getting older, but he's still... I'm all for it. I'm like, go Morrissey, you know. Write another album. Send it to us. Teenagers on fire. You know, go to father. Go farther. Or further. I say farther, but further. Go further on, farther. And say the teenagers are Teenagers in Hell. You know, I don't know. The Bonfire of the Teenagers. Great title. People said that you were easily led, but they were half right. They were half right. Half right. Another fan of Morrissey is Jonah Hill. I've always wondered about that. Jonah Hill did the mid-90s. He did a film called the mid-90s. It was called the mid-90s. Great actors that were in it. And he's a big fan of Morrissey. I am too. I've got 2 of his vinyls albums. I've got November Spawned a Monster, and I have Ouija Board. They have been played, I think, once or twice on a real record player. I don't have one yet, but I'd like to get one. I have a new single myself that I'm able to listen to a version of it, but the version I like was recorded by me and an older lady named Paige Goodman. She was did one word on it called Control, and she was the backup vocals, and she wants me to sign a contract with her, but I said, well, it's a vocal contract for now. And so she did the backup vocals on just one little segment, and the song is called I Lost Control. It has been aired on Bandcamp. I also have it on the phone, and I did a video of it the other night, so I also have a single too called I Lost Control. It's a pretty good one. Check it out. We did it the other day at Guitar Center in a soundproof room. We recorded it using a Zoom, and she played the cymbal, or is it called the cymbal, the cymbal drum, and it said the word control in it because I wanted kind of a witchy kind of voice on it, very witchy. And she did good. She did well. I wish she would have said control more times, but I think in one version it says I lost control 38 times towards the end. I think in our version it was something like that. It's like a 7-minute version. Access it on Bandcamp under the Cole and Linda Filmmaker Band. Check it out. All right, we are in front of the one and only 7-Eleven. They are going to get 3 Swisher cigarillas and 2 Coca-Colas. We're going to pick that up and drop it off at your doorstep. If I don't know you and you approach me, there's a chance that you could get trespassed. From this point on, we are going to be famous. It's going to take some time. It'll happen either posthumously or it'll happen in my lifetime. Either way, it's going to happen. Because people want certain things, and I learned it from James Lipton, from being at the Actor Studio Drama School and the New School. When they want that, they put themselves in that situation, and they do become famous. People can become famous. It happens. Because they put themselves in the situation. I'm not saying infamous. I'm saying famous, as in pop culture fame. Check out Bandcamp, the Cole and Linda Filmmaker Band. The song is called I Lost Control. 2 people sing on it, but I'm the one that sings mostly, and I always play guitar. Yes, sir. 3 Swishers. I have to say about I Lost Control, the song, is it's a lot about gaining control and the losing of control at the same time. That's what it's about. It's about gaining control and the loss of control. Because it goes, I lost, and then control. I lost control. So you go from losing to winning. I won because of that right there. Only because of that, I won it all. I'll play Paranoid Android, only the instrumental version, at my inauguration. Now we'll be pulling into Cameron Creek to drop off your cigarillas, Swisher. I guess, you know, Swisher cigarillas, they're grape. And, of course, not to forget your 2 Coca-Colas, which are plastic container Coca-Colas. I would love to give you the ones in the glass container, but they don't sell them anymore at 7-Eleven. You have to go to a health food store or something to get those. But they only have the plastic containers. I am so sorry, Biden and the Green Party. Sorry, but it has to be plastic. I will take care of the environment. I will take care of Mother Earth. I will try to push to have electric cars. I will make the Republicans mad. I'll make the Democrats wonder. I won't have big government. I will want the New Liberty Party to be private. But I will respect the government the best that I can. And I'll try to control money, because I was a banker, so that we won't have such a money problem for people. And there won't be much difference between the rich and the poor for the New Liberty Party. There will be very little difference. A lot of rich people will be living in places like that, just like a lot of rich people will be moving into places like this, okay? People will do a lot to help the country. I lost control and gained control. By losing control, I gain control and I lose weight. All right, we're gonna go up this way, and we have to ID. All right, the approach is not this way. You want to approach on the outside, not in the center. Because of this and because of that. Approach on the outside. It's less likely to be injury. If you approach in the middle, it's not as good. Plus, you can't see the number. I don't know about this right here. We're gonna approach in the middle. Over here where we can see numbers. Alright, this looks like a possibility. Okay. Yeah, it's a possibility. Sort of wood staircases. It's a possibility. Yes. It's important to get that number right there. It's a building number. I'll show it to you. It's gonna have an address and a building number. I'll show it to you. Right there, that's the address, building number, and you wanna make sure that the address is correct. It's very important to do that because you wanna make sure you get that right before you approach. It's highly important. And that'll be it for tonight. Go back and see Kitty. They got their swishers, all their goodies, their Coca-Cola. Right, we're gonna be all right. We'll be going to Denny's. And we're picking up scrambled eggs and breakfast stuff at 10:59 in the PM. Because if it was 10:59 in the AM, that means Jesus Christ was being crucified and he covered up the sky. Because that's what happened in the Bible, in the New Testament. If you read the New Testament, the sky turned completely dark in the middle of the day. So we know it's 10:59 or 11 p.m. because we can see the sky above, okay? We're gonna be there at Denny's at about 11:03 in the PM, as in post-meridian. This always reminds me of George Lucas right here. If you ever know who George Lucas is, he's got $5 billion, or actually $6 billion. He's a filmmaker. He has more money than you would ever, you don't even want to think about it. But he created Star Wars. This reminds me of Star Wars. He probably created some of the Star Wars based on highways and bridges and stuff like that. Because in the Death Star, it looked kind of like a highway. To me. I mean, to me it did. I don't know. Maybe George Lucas is like, yeah, the Death Star could have looked like a highway. And certain moments of it because of the overpasses. And I always think of Mark Hamill and the X-Wing fighter getting ready to deliver those 2 missiles and destroying the Death Star and hopefully destroying Darth Vader, which he didn't do because Darth Vader had an escape craft. It was some type of craft that he got into. Aircraft, okay? It wasn't an aircraft, it was a spacecraft. Because Darth Vader escaped the explosion of the Death Star. And a device that everybody, all the comic strip, they know the name. I just know the X-Wing fighter. Sorry. Were they in? Was there an A fighter, an A-wing fighter? There was an A-wing fighter, and there was an X-wing fighter, which Luke Skywalker flew. I hope it's an X-wing fighter. If not, then I'll be corrected. I stand corrected by somebody probably, but it was some type of spacecraft. But anyway, Darth Vader escaped it, and he was also known as Anakin Skywalker, who Adam the Woo refers to quite a bit. Anakin was Darth Vader. He became Darth Vader so that the Empire kept him alive. Because Obi-Wan had to fight him, and he got hurt at the volcano island, and it burned his legs off and his arms off, and they had to put him back together. We're going to be going in this Denny's. We'll figure out the whole story later. We can look on Wikipedia and memorize it and know all the fun stuff. It can go on for days, for whole days. We're going to get to this Denny's really quick and pick up your food and drop it off at your doorstep. Probably going to be heading back here pretty soon. Right there. They're hiring, just in case. But I'd have to use a different social. It's a long story about child support. Good food, good friends, good times. These are very fun. I used to sell these. Thank you for being kind. All right, there's them out. You're welcome. I told her, may Jesus Christ reign in your heart for all of time. That's what I told her, and she had a big smile on her face. Very happy to be part of his kingdom. All right, people. We are leaving Denny's. That's Denny's right there. You can kind of see it. We're going to be there in 0.9 miles. It'll be about 4 minutes. It will arrive at 11:29 in the PM, as in post meridian. All right? We're probably going to head back to help Edmund. He probably needs a little bit of wet food. He's got a half a can. And he's got dry. So he's got some dry food. And I just got him a big thing of cat litter. So don't worry. I know you're listening. Edmund's okay. Edmund the cat. He's doing fine. He tried to crawl under the sink today. I didn't allow him to. Don't like him to get in there. I was going to get those child safety things on the sink, but I think he understands, you know. Edmund understands. His name is Edmund Tuxedo Cassavetes. That's his full name. Okay, he's named after, well, Edmund is a children's, well, let me just do it this way. The name of Edmund is a character's name in a children's story known as Mid-Cities Boulevard Squirrels. That's a children's story. Mid-Cities Boulevard Squirrel. Have you ever heard of Mid-City? It's like in the middle of the city. This is Mid-Cities Boulevard Squirrel. It's based on a real road, I guess you can call it. Avenue, drive. I think it's, I don't know. I really don't know what it is. It's just Mid-City. Oh, Boulevard. Yeah. Mid-Cities Boulevard Squirrels. It is a boulevard. Mid-Cities Boulevard Squirrels. It's a boulevard. Okay, so Edmund is the name of the farmer's cat. It's about squirrels. Okay? Squirrels are in it. Real squirrels. They talk. There's a squirrel named Johnny, a squirrel named Lucy, and the leader squirrel's named Timmy. It starts off with a squirrel getting hit, and he's flattened on the road, and his name is Nutty, and they have to take him to bury him by an oak tree. That's the first one. The second one, there's an East Mid-Cities Boulevard Squirrel. They have to leave. It's on my fan fiction. Or I'm sorry, Fiction Press. Sorry, Fiction Press. They have to leave town and go to another zip code to basically go to another area where the peanut farm is located. Now, they meet a train riding squirrel known as a hobo squirrel named Chuck. Okay, he teaches them how to ride the train. And they all follow him. And Lucy's pregnant. Johnny's her partner. Timmy leads them to the train. They get on the train and they go across town to the new farm. There is a West Mid-Cities Boulevard Squirrels. There's also an East Mid-Cities Boulevard Squirrels. The East one is they get on the train and they go all the way east. They're trying to go west, but the train goes the wrong way. And they go all the way east to Florida and they show up at Walt Disney World to survive on peanuts at Walt Disney World and other stuff. Now, they live there among the Florida Project and all the crazies. Finally, they decide to leave there because there's not enough peanuts for Lucy's baby. So they go all the way west on a plane ride to California. That doesn't work out for them very well because the town's too busy. So they go all the way north. I think they take a car. I want to say they take a car north. And they go all the way up to the borderline of Canada. And it gets too cold for them. So they head all the way south. Back on the train. Back to their home, Fort Worth. They're squirrels from Fort Worth. They try everything. They try Florida, they try California, they try Canada, and then they head all the way back home. There's 4 stories. There's the first one, Mid-City Boulevard Squirrels. There's Mid-City Boulevard Squirrels, which is East Mid-Cities Boulevard Squirrels. There's West Mid-Cities Boulevard Squirrels, and there's North. And in the North, they end up going back to the South. I've only written 2 of them. I've written the middle one, I've written the first one. The first one, which is Mid-Cities Boulevard Squirrels, and I've written the East Mid-Cities Boulevard Squirrels. I gotta find the address on this. I think it's right here. All right. We'll see how it goes. If I ever get back to the children's story, that means I'm doing very good. Mid-Cities Boulevard Squirrels, and that's what Edmund's named after. Now, Edmund is also named after Tuxedo, because he's black and white, and Cassavetes, the filmmaker, John Cassavetes. his son named Nick Cassavetes. All right, everyone. Well, I know I say harsh things, but when someone threatens me, it makes me very, very mad. I have 3 children. Do not threaten a father with 3 children. That's suicide. Do not do that, ever. Don't ever threaten it. I don't care if you have military backing in the Navy. I've got military backing in the Navy because my grandfather was in the Pacific during World War II. I got military backing in the Army because my dad was special intelligence and was drafted to Vietnam, who Annie met. Okay? There's going to be a time in this show where I don't even mention her name. Okay? She better... Listen, anybody that threatens me, their full name's going on my show for my protection. Their full name will go on my show for my protection. Now, let's just imagine, John Lennon style imagine, if I was the president of the United States, and let's say the New Liberty Party became a third party, and let's say it took off. The Libertarians said, yeah, sure. Let him go out there as a third party, because there's a Libertarian Party. And the New Liberty Party gets real popular, and they want Cole Spivey as president, and you threaten the commander-in-chief. Now, I threaten possibly cuffs on Biden because of what happened to Trump. I was kind of, being hyperbole. I was being exaggerating because I want to be a radical. But what I mean is that if Biden was corrupt, okay, and I don't know, everybody has, they can be investigated. Listen, where I worked, and ask Obama. Obama was a banker. Yep. Obama understands. Where I worked, we could not trust everyone. You never could turn your back on the money, and you had to say, well, this person could be wrong. Okay? We don't know the whole history of Biden, just like we don't know the whole history of Trump. I'm getting sick of the Democrats and the Republicans. I don't watch the news anymore. They filter the news for the Republicans and the Democrats. And what does the third party get? If I have a debate with Biden, I'll look him right in the eyes and say, listen, I have people that can investigate you, that know your every move. And I know Nixon was wrong. And I know you're a Democrat, but we also know that JFK had a little bit of corruption in him too. You know what I mean? JFK was slightly corrupt, and they've done research on it. Just like Abraham Lincoln had some problems, but he was National Party. He was a nationalist. Abraham Lincoln was. He was part of the National Party. Now, let me explain something. And they didn't care about the Republicans or the Democrats back then during the Civil War. Because we've kind of had a little mini Civil War, didn't we, on January 6th. Not everybody was right then. Now, Biden went and retaliated and went into people's homes and arrested them. We don't want communism in the United States of America. We don't even really want socialism. I am for the private sector. I will depend on the private sector. Backed by the Christian Coalition, the New Liberty Party, there are certain people that know me. We are okay with privacy. We know the Americans will arm themselves. We know Americans have the right to have HK MP7s and MK13 Mod 5s, and we're not afraid of any president. We're not going to let a dictator rule. Will I be a dictator? No. I will have 10 or 12 advisors. Before I say a single word at that time, they will all advise me. Most all these shows will probably be put on private at some point when all this takes off. I'm trying to find humanity in this show. Humanitarian, right? We are all presidents in the United States of America. All of us are. We are all the commander-in-chief. And we can all be the commander-in-chief together and work this way out. We don't have to fear a president. We don't have to fear Trump. We don't have to fear Biden. We have no one to fear. We don't even fear the New Liberty Party, but we don't want women going out there and being pro-abortion. We don't want abortion. Abortion's disgusting. It kills women, and it's spiritually disgusting. It's murder. We want people to live. We want to live. We are pro-life. You don't sick the Navy on me. You don't sick anything on me. I'm a born-again Christian speaking truth, and I will take control of this country along with my brothers and my brothers at arms. We have the right to defend ourselves. We have the right to form a militia. We have a right to form a party. We have the right to retake this country, regardless of the sins of our fathers who mistreated our sons, who stepped on the back of black men until they could no longer breathe, calling out for mother, when they should have been calling out for Jesus Christ. Because with Jesus Christ's name, there is power in his kingdom. I'm not saying beware of the New Liberty Party. I'm saying join the New Liberty Party. And know that you are protected by the one and only Messiah, Jesus Christ, who will take this country back. That's the New Liberty Party. I have no fear of no man. And in the proper English is, I fear no man. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as in heaven. Give us today our daily bread, and forgive our trespassers, as we forgive those that trespass on us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. For thine, Jesus Christ, is the power, the glory, and the kingdom over all. You are the King of Kings, Jesus. I give it to you. Take the will. Amen. To revamp. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive our trespasses, as we forgive those that trespass upon us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. For thine is the power, the glory, and kingdom. And King of Kings you are, Jesus Christ. Amen. I always put a little twist on it. What it means is that when you forgive please forgive the trespasses, as we forgive those that trespass among us. Okay? It means it goes both ways. You forgive the trespasses, and then you forgive the trespasser. All right? Because that's what's going to happen in life. There's going to be people that trespass. You have to forgive them, just as you are forgiven for your own trespasses. It's important to get that right. Sorry. That's a wolf. That is not a dog. That is what's called a coyote. That can be gunned down. That is a coyote. And it's a big one. They get neighborhood dogs, they lead them out in the field, and they kill them. It's a wild dog. No, it's a coyote. Right there. It's known as a coyote. This is pretty much right in the same area that officer pulled up when this is like jogging routine. He pulled up right around here. He was a Latino. He's no longer on the police force. He has been fired. It was on this road right here. Well, you can't see it right here, but I can show areas. This is a building that's noticeable. And this is where he pulled. This is right here, Western Hills. This is part of my jogging routine right around this way. He pulled up right next to me. He was a criminal. There he is. Edmund the cat. Look at Kitty. Look at that kitty. Come on, let's get some food. Bubba Mountain Dew. I gave Rob one like that. It was black and silver. That's just one for backup. And this is what we had to replace. We did a whole vlog on it. I got a pretty hefty vlog tonight. This is what was replaced. It was a silver star, just like this one. This one has a little gold thing. The other one has silver. This is the second one that went out on the other side. With these, I take the receipt, I put it right in here, just like this. Then I take a stapler, because this right here either malfunctioned or whatever. And I staple it right here. That way the receipt's with it. I can figure out the date of when it was replaced. No Skinny Pete and Friends tonight, but we may do a note card. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and create that note card for tomorrow. This one, here's some painting that we made for Angel. That's my wife's name, Angel, and that's Gwendolyn Hope. And then we did another painting for Elizabeth, and a painting for David, my son. We did a drawing for him, for David Luke. And we're going to put this one, I don't know if the other one was there, but for now, we're gonna put that one there. I thought it was in here. Yeah, it's right there. All right. And then we're gonna get to editing, and we'll just go ahead and feed Kitty. Come on, Kitty. We're gonna feed Kitty this right here. I'm gonna get you. You're your little dog, Toto. I'm just joking. All right, come over here. I'm just joking. Just joking around. Lenny Bruce had this problem big time. He was an actor and all this stuff. He was from Dallas. All right, Kitty, come and get it. Let's get a little whiff here. You can smell it, can't you? Come on. All right, a little bit of this right here. About this much, that'll be fine. I get this little piece out for Kitty. I protested the Afghan war. I was pushed out of the room by a teacher that was a Vietnam vet. I did not want to go to war at all. I didn't want my brothers to lose their arms and legs. I did not want Foster to die. I'm not for war. I'm for peace. Come on. Let's get him up. He's just a little sad. Come on, Kitty. Here we go. There we go. That's a good kitty. Okay. Right. Here we go.